Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are here to test out 4 new makeup products, new to me, new to the product line, new to the makeup industry. And I just kind of wanted to focus on these 4 products. So I do not have my face done. I am going to use these and then finish the rest of my makeup off camera and kind of give you my first impression thoughts. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup, so if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, before I zoom you in, I do want to let you know about the products that we will be trying today. This one right here is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I have not tried the actual putty primer, but when I saw this one come out, I knew that I wanted to try it. 1, because it's e.l.f. and it's super affordable. You can find it at the drugstore. But 2, I thought that it would be similar to my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, which is what I use every single day when I'm priming. This says you get the same lasting makeup grip and smooth finish of fan favorite Poreless Putty Primer, but now in a silky, weightless liquid. So I'm excited to try this out. I did also get my hands on one of the new Pat McGrath bronzers. This is in the shade Nude Honey. So I want to try this out today. And then I have 2 Rare Beauty products. Rare Beauty did just come out with their Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. I didn't know what shade to get, so I went with Warm Brown. We'll see today if that is the correct shade. And I picked up their mascara. It just says mascara in black. So those are the 4 products we're going to be trying. Like I said, I'll zoom you in. We'll talk about these 4 products, but I am going to apply the rest of my makeup off camera. I will have everything listed down below. Why don't we go ahead and jump in? I did start barefaced because we do have a primer. It says to gently squeeze the tube until product appears, then apply evenly to the face using fingertips to pat into skin and allow 30 seconds to set before makeup application. I saw this in my local Target and I was like, you know what? I want to try it out. So I have a little squeeze here. This is normally where I focus my Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas, is right here where my pores are the largest. This does feel silky and smooth. Now I will tell you, right off the bat, I feel like a little bit goes a long way with my Tatcha. And like with this one, I had a little bit that I squeezed onto my fingers and it worked well in my porous areas, but I do want to put a little bit on my forehead and on my chin. So I did have to go in with a little bit more. I am noticing a scent. I did just wash my hands also. I went and saw the Barbie movie with my coworkers, and so I already have done my skincare and sunscreen for the day, but now we're applying makeup application, and there is a little bit of a scent here. I can't really pinpoint it. I don't know. It's not a bad scent, but it's not like a sweet scent. A little bit artificial maybe, or plasticky. Anyway, what do we have? A 12-month shelf life here? So a little bit goes a long way. We will see. It doesn't feel tacky. It almost feels, it doesn't feel like a hydrating primer, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's a tacky primer that's going to make my makeup stick to it. I don't know that I see anything right off the bat, like pore filling or anything like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Right now, it felt comfortable on the skin. It definitely felt like it soaked into the skin. I don't feel anything on my skin, but I also am not 100% sold that it's really going to do much for foundation. So I'm going to go ahead, hop off, do some more of my face makeup, and then we will come back to do brows, mascara, and bronzer together. Okay, I did just do my brows with the Rare Beauty, what is this called? The Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. Remember, I did get the shade Warm Brown, and I wanted to pull that up because I wanted to share what Warm Brown is said to be for. It does say that it is for auburn or light brown hair. I would consider my hair auburn. Typically, I use my ABH Caramel shade, and I love that. I did have Patrick Ta, and I used the shade Blonde. I was thinking about maybe going for Rich Taupe, which is medium to blonde hair, or Soft Blonde. Soft Blonde is for platinum to light blonde hair, but it does look like it has a little bit of red undertone. I ended up not going with that one just because sometimes the red is a little bit more of an orange red, and I don't really like the way that it looks on me. I was afraid that the taupe would not have enough red, so ultimately I went for warm brown. And while I'm talking, I am going to insert the clip of myself applying this. But I do want to say, first of all, I really do like the tip of this applicator. Typically with my, how many times am I going to say typically or tip? So typically with my Anastasia Beverly Hills, I use the Brow Wiz. That one is nice because as you can see, I have to build a brow. I start with nothing and I have to create something is my goal. And for me, going in with the Brow Wiz is great because I can create a line underneath, I can fill in hair-like strokes, but sometimes it takes me a while because I have so much to draw in that I'll typically go in with the brow definer. However, with this shape, it was nice because the sides are kind of sharp. I don't want to say pointed, but the edges are sharp. So I was able to create that nice line underneath to define the brow, but also it is a little bit more of a thicker triangular shape to create some definition. And it really didn't take me that long to create the brow. I will say, I don't think this is my favorite shade. To me, this shade looks a bit artificial. And you may be saying, well, Kelly, it is artificial. You are drawing in an eyebrow. Like, what did you expect? But honestly, y'all, there have been times, now I'm about to try and fix my brow here. There have been times where I've gone to work and I didn't wear makeup or I didn't do my brows, and people have said, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you drew your brow hairs in. Or I mentioned before that I had to draw a brow every single day. And people have said to me, oh my goodness, I never would have guessed, like your eyebrows look so natural. And that's what I'm going for. I do have to create a brow, but I do want it to look natural. I don't want it to look artificial. And when I'm looking up close with this color here, even though it is a warm brown shade and it has some red in there, to me, I'm looking at it and it just looks artificial. My caramel shade just looks a little bit better on me. Now, I did really enjoy the applicator. I thought that it made it quick and easy. I just don't love the shade. I wish it was a touch lighter. So I think what I might do is I might try to return this shade and see if I can pick up the taupe. I would like to look at it in stores. So I'm gonna try and take this into a Sephora store and see if I can look at the shades, because I may either do the light blonde one or the taupe, one that's a little bit lighter, because I just don't like the shade of this, but I really think the applicator was unique. I think that it helped create a brow nice and quickly. I was able to kind of comb it out with the spoolie. Overall, I liked the product. It was creamy, but it wasn't too creamy. It has a bit of waxy consistency, so I feel like it'll stick on there. I'm just not loving the shade. Oh, another thing I want to point out that I really did like about this is one side has a gold cover and the other side is that matte cover, the same as the packaging. So I can look at this right away and know my product is on this side and the spoolie is on that side, which I think is great. Let's do some bronzer, shall we? I am going to dip into this beauty right here. I'm going to use my BK Beauty 107. Again, this is the shade Nude Honey. And I'm very excited about this shade. This shade was not available at Sephora. It was only available on the Pat McGrath website. So I did get this one from the Pat McGrath website when she was having, I want to say it was like a 30% off sale. I saw someone post it on their community tab, maybe like one of my girlfriends, one of the creators that I follow. I know some people say they don't like seeing stuff posted on the community tab. I personally love it because I cannot stay on top of everything. I cannot stay on top of everything. I have 2 young children. I am a teacher. I'm getting ready to go back to work. I just don't always know what is happening. But I saw someone post on the community tab that Pat McGrath was having like 30% off. And sure enough, her bronzers were on sale. So I wanted to pick this shade up. I thought this shade would be great for me. I do think it is a very nice shade. I love the Pat McGrath blushes. Like, OMG. They are some of my favorite blushes. I like this Nude Honey shade because it's a little bit more neutral. It's not too cool. So it's not a contour, it's definitely a bronzer for me. But I also have to be careful with shades that are a little bit too warm, because when they are too warm, then it starts to look orange or red on me, and I don't love that combination. I would say initially you can see I am dipping in and adding more as I go. I'm able to build this up which I appreciate. I don't want something that's going to be full pigment. It's easier for me to add than to take away. But I feel like this is a great undertone for me. I like the formula. I like the buildability of it. Is that even a word? I don't notice a scent. Yeah, I don't notice a scent at all. And I think I'm gonna like this bronzer, to be fair. I think I'm gonna like it. It is a matte bronzer. I don't know if I mentioned that. It is a matte bronzer. Here I have bronzer, nothing. Bronzer, nothing. I like a matte bronzer. I prefer a matte bronzer, if I'm being honest. I have dry skin, so I really like a dewy, hydrated look, but for whatever reason, I want my bronzer to be matte. Now, if you want to give me a dewy blush, I'm all about that, but I need my bronzer matte. I need it to help create some shape and definition, and I don't want to be shiny. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to finish applying bronzer to both sides here. Can you see how buildable it is? And it just gives me, it's like a nice neutral shade. If you are similar to my skin tone, then I would say this shade is nice. Here's the other thing I liked, I want to point out. So I was between shades, right? I didn't know what shade I wanted to get. On the Pat McGrath website, when I was looking at the bronzers, they do tell you, like, examples maybe? Like they give you suggestions, that's the word I'm looking for. They give you suggestions based on whatever shade you are of the Pat McGrath foundation. They give you suggestions on what they think bronzer shade would work for you. So I do wear light 7 in the Pat McGrath foundation, and I knew that, and so Nude Honey was recommended to me, and I think that was a good call. It's nice and neutral, but it definitely looks, it helps my skin look like there's some life back into it. It's not too warm, but it's not cool like a contour. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this one. Okay, I'm ready to dive into the mascara. This is the shade Black. I don't know if there's a specific name to the mascara. I typically look for a volumizing mascara, and I like to go in with two types. First, I go in with my volumizing, then I go in with my lengthening, and I don't mind if my volumizing mascara is chunky, if we're being honest, because my lengthening mascara just kind of evens it out. But my lashes need help. My brows do too, but my lashes are the ones that we are putting mascara on. This is big. Okay, it's like the size of my eye. I do have small eyes, but this is rather large. It looks to me like it's more of a wand that's going to give me volume, which I can appreciate here. It's going on nicely. I don't find it to be an overly wet formula. Overly wet formulas can be a little challenging for me to work with, and I like when they dry out a little bit. I don't know, I might be a fan. Look at that. This is one coat. Holy cow. It really gave me volume and length. Wow. I might like this. Let me do the bottom. I like to go in with 2 coats of mascara, but I like the first to kind of sit on there for a minute. Hold on, I can't talk. Okay, I will say, because it is so large, it was tricky to really get those bottom lashes without like getting the mascara everywhere. Now I'm gonna go on, still only 1 coat on that side. And we are going to put another 1 coat over here, and then we'll go in with a second. But right off the bat, I think I might like this. Okay, that's 1 coat on both of the eyes. I am going to dip it back in. I got the smaller size. I love using a smaller size of mascara. And now that it's sat for a minute, I'm just going to go in with a second coat to see how it layers, because that's typically what I would do anyway. And I want to see what it's gonna make my lashes look like. I feel like this mascara is giving me volume and length without the clump. Do y'all see that? I think I'm gonna like this one. Okay, so here we have 2 coats of the mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you out and let's talk about these products. Okay, now that the makeup is complete, let me give you my first impression of each of these. First, the primer. Again, first time using these products, so first impressions, I will come back to review them. I don't know that this did anything. I do have dry skin. It didn't give me any extra hydration. I don't feel like it really filled in my pores or did anything substantial that way. It didn't really feel gripping, so it didn't make me in my head feel like my foundation is going to stay on longer. I don't know if it's going to or not. I've only been wearing this for maybe an hour, so I don't know. I mean, it's e.l.f., it's affordable, but like compared to my Tatcha Silk Canvas, that one feels hydrating when I put it on and a little bit goes a long way. This one I kind of felt like it just absorbed into my skin and I don't really know that it did much of anything, but I'll keep trying it and we'll see if that becomes a favorite or turns into anything. But then I have my bronzer here. I am impressed, I have to say. I do like this bronzer. I'm glad that I got the shade Nude Honey. I'm glad that I waited and ordered it from the Pat McGrath website versus the Sephora website. I like it because it's nice and neutral. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, and I'm able to build it up, but it does show up on my skin. The pigmentation is there, so I think I'm really going to enjoy that one. Okay, then we had the eyebrow pencil, and I have to say, there are many things I like about it. First of all, I know this seems very minor, but I like that the caps are different colors. It makes it easy to know if I'm reaching into the spoolie or if I'm reaching into the product. I really like the shape of this product. I like the tip of it. I don't know how well the tip is going to stand up. Like I said, there were sides that were very pointed and then it is more triangular in the middle. I don't know how long that will last or if it will lose its shape. But I was able to kind of create a brow and to create it quickly, but I do not like this shade match. I do want to take this in store and I want to return it. Hopefully I saved my box so I can put this back in the box. I don't know if they'll let me return it without it. But I don't think that this is really a hit for me, this shade. I liked the product, didn't like the shade, so I want to try out a different one, but I need to see the shades in store to figure out which one would be a better match for me. And then the mascara, and I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I typically go in with 2 mascaras, volumizing and lengthening. I don't feel like I need to go in with another one. 1 coat looked beautiful, but 2 coats, I have volume, I have length, but it's not clumpy. I really appreciated that this wasn't a very wet formula. It's not dry either though. Like it went on my lashes and gave me full pigment, but when I opened my eyes, I didn't have mascara all over the place. So I do really think that I'm going to enjoy this one. But those are the products that I used today that I test out. The rest of my makeup will be listed down below if you're interested, but I would like to know if you have tried any of these items. What are your thoughts? If you are a natural redhead and you've tried the Rare Beauty, let me know what shade worked for you because I do really like it. I like the shape of it and I like the formula itself. I just need to find a shade that matches, which is why I always stick with my ABH because caramel is like my perfect shade. But I'm rambling at this point. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy videos like this where I'm testing out new makeup, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up so that I know. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this one. Make sure you subscribe before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.